The iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 mini came out many years ago, so let's go and see how both these iPhones kind of compare in 2023. Now, if you want to pick up some iPhones, I would recommend this year, probably including these ones as well. Check them out in the links down below. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off side by side, you can definitely tell that the iPhone 12 mini is a much smaller phone than the iPhone 12, overall. On the iPhone 12 mini, we have a 5.7-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, and it's a pretty good panel. When it came out in 2020, I thought it was pretty cool. This was the first time we saw a mini iPhone from Apple, and since then we only got one more after this one, probably, rightfully so, I'm not too sure. But this is a smaller phone compared to nowadays. Like, it's a very small phone. But I guess if you compare it to like something like an iPhone 12, it's not like that. It's a smaller phone, but it's not like a crazy amount smaller. But you're getting almost the same type of specifications between two devices. The resolution on this panel is still pretty high. It's still an overall really good phone, and you have a notch, which some people like, some people don't. But I do think it's a pretty good looking phone overall. With the iPhone 12, it's definitely the bigger one. It's also heavier, I think. You're getting a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display on the iPhone 12. So this is overall the better panel, and I think that's something that's really cool. It's not a better panel, it's a bigger panel, so take that as you will. But something like the iPhone 12, a lot of people might be okay with a panel like this, mostly because it just, kind of blends in, it kind of works well. So I think some people are okay with that type of panel, but I do look at both these and they're pretty much almost identical, to be honest. Now, in terms of the thickness and thinness between two, I mean, they're almost identically the same. There's not really one that's like way thicker or way thinner than the other one. The only thing I can tell you is that if you take a look, like how much, like just take a look at how basically the iPhone 12 mini can sit inside the iPhone 12. Like, it's pretty insane. I mean, that's how much smaller the iPhone 12 mini is over the standard iPhone 12. Like, it's pretty crazy. Now on the back, we do have our camera setups in our backs. Now, I do have a very cracked back on my iPhone 12 mini, but we are getting dual camera setups on both, and the camera setups are basically almost the exact same thing between both. So there is not really that big of a difference here at all. They're identically almost the same as that camera setup. You're getting wireless charging on both. You're getting IP certification on both. Maybe not on my 12 mini anymore, but you're getting it on both. And you're also getting that MagSafe capability on the back too. So if you have any MagSafe wallets or anything, they will be accessible and capable on both these devices, which is honestly pretty cool. So on the outside, I'll definitely tell you, I think both these iPhones are very good, but they are basically almost identically the same, and there's not really that big of a difference here. Now, in terms of software, these two phones are going to be lasting pretty much the exact same amount of time. They, lasted for, basically the same amount of time so far. The day the iPhone 12 mini gets an update will be the same day the iPhone 12 gets an update, and the day the iPhone 12 stops getting updates, the iPhone 12 mini will also stop getting updates. So that's kind of a quick one to kind of sum up there too. Now let's go and do speed comparison between both these phones. The iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 both have that Apple A14 body chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM inside. So let's go and see which one's the faster one between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background. The iPhone 12 mini is on the left, the iPhone 12 is on the right. So let us get into it. Let's do phone calls, 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same thing, not really that big of a difference there. Let's go and hop out of these two. Let's go and do music, 3, 2, 1. Okay, they were on two different panels, now they're not. This one did load up into a separate thing, so I'm not really too sure what's going on there. And I'm sure these two things are probably going to be roughly around the same. And you can see the iPhone 12 was slightly faster a little bit. Let's go and hop out of this one. Let's do their App Store, 3, 2, 1. And they're connected to the same Wi-Fi and everything, and you can see that the iPhone 12 a little tiny bit faster right there. Scrolling through, let's see if there's a big difference, which I don't think there will be, but you can kind of see that even though the iPhone 12 mini has the smaller display, you're getting the same exact amount of information almost on both these displays. You can see that basically it cuts out here, it cuts out here. It's almost the same exact thing between both. Clicking it here, pretty much the same thing, hopping out. Let's go into the clock, 3, 2, 1. About the same thing. Camera, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Let's go and take a photo, 3, 2, 1. Now they both have that little night mode option that come up, but the iPhone 12 mini looks like it was a little faster to come up, more so than the iPhone 12. Not too sure what was up with that. Let's go and open up this photo. Okay, didn't want to open up on the iPhone 12. Not sure what was up with that. Let's go into photos, 3, 2, 1. Okay, pretty much the same thing, not that big of a difference there. Let's do mail, 3, 2, 1. 12 mini I think was slightly faster. News, let's do health, 3, 2, 1. About the same thing too. Let's go and hop out of these two. Let's go and get into another one. Let's go and try something like Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Now this isn't that heavy intensive of a game, but I will say that sometimes there can be random little pop-ups that come up that can be kind of annoying. And you can see right here, really not that big of a difference. They're almost identically the same on here, which is pretty interesting. The iPhone 12 mini maybe was slightly faster, but they were almost like identically the same. Hopping out of these two, let's go and open up this one. And I think it's going to be kind of the same thing too. Let's go and hop out of this game. Let's try something like Subway Surfers. Let's see if I even have that one here, which I probably don't. And it's not looking good. If I swipe all the way to the edge, I guess I don't have it, which is kind of annoying. Actually, I may have it. And I do have it. 3, 2, 1. Now the 12 mini was just sliding into that one instantaneously. And you can see the iPhone 12 a little bit behind. So I'll put that right there too. I'll probably give the edge to the iPhone 12 mini there too. Snake versus blocks, which I don't have stacked. 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 12 mini was faster. iPhone 12 a little bit behind. And I guess we could end it off there. I mean, definitely what I'll tell you is the iPhone 12, I think, did a pretty good job, and the 12 mini did a really good job too. I think both these phones are almost identical. I really don't think there's that big of a difference. There's slight ones. Maybe it could have been me tapping it or whatever. But I do think they're almost identically the same when it comes down to it. So that kind of covers it up there. Now in the camera department, we are getting that dual camera setup on both these phones like I mentioned before. So you are getting a wide and ultra wide camera on both these devices, which is honestly pretty nice, you know. So you can do 4K at 60 on the front of these phones and on the back of these phones, which is really good. Now with something like the iPhone 12 mini, one thing I really liked about this camera was that it was the same exact camera as the iPhone 12, but in a much smaller package. A lot of people actually like that kind of stuff. Being able to quickly like zoom out at 0.5x and then being able to zoom in at 5x, that's some stuff that people actually like a lot. Personally, for me, I look at this type of phone, that's a really cool thing. Now, if you look at video, slow mode, time lapse, photo mode, portrait mode, panorama mode, it's a really cool thing. And I think this phone's camera is pretty good. I look at the iPhone 12's camera and it's pretty much identically the same thing as well. It's not really that big of a difference. I would say the thing I like a lot about the iPhone 12's camera though, over the iPhone 12 mini, isn't really the camera. It is the viewfinder. You are getting a bigger viewfinder on this type of phone, which gives me the impression that it is kind of the bigger camera, like the better camera, just because you can see more in it. But it's not even quite the case. You have 5x zoom, like you have the same type of capability between both. You have the video mode, slow mode, you have portrait mode over here. So pretty much the same exact things. Not that big of a difference, but I would probably say there's good and there's bad between both cameras, but they're almost identically the same too. So to kind of sum up this whole entire video, what I'll tell you is I definitely do think a phone like the iPhone 12 would probably be the one I would pick up more so than the iPhone 12 mini. And the reason for that, I do like having a bigger phone. This thing is still being sold by, Apple brand new, so you can just walk inside of the Apple store and pick it up. But also this thing has a bigger size battery. That might be a big reason why some people would prefer buying a phone like the iPhone 12 over something like the iPhone 12 mini. But I will say, because the iPhone 12 mini sold few units for sure, these things are still available in the used market all day, so you can buy this thing for cheaper than what the iPhone 12 is. But you are almost getting the same phone as the iPhone 12, and I do think that in and of itself is a really cool thing. So with something like the iPhone 12, this is still a phone that's completely worth buying, and for a lot of people, this may be the better one over the iPhone 12. If you like a smaller phone, then by all means go for a phone like this. Me personally, I would probably buy the iPhone 12, but I know a lot of people who would rather have a phone like the iPhone 12 mini over the iPhone 12. And that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly to everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.